a hard cider braised pork. We're gonna start out with a piece of marbled pork. All I did was salt it and brown it in a little olive oil, which is the point I have it to here. You see, this color is flavor in food. So we really have to take the time and be careful with this to get our caramelization of the sugars and the protein really going. That's gonna be such a key element in the ultimate flavor of the dish. So here's our pork. That's the color. Took me about 15 minutes or so to get there. Again, it depends on how big you cut the pieces. As you can see, I cut mine about 3 by 2, 3 or 4 inches long by 2. And now we're going to add to the drippings 2 large onions, lots of sage and thyme, 1 bay leaf, and I also add some juniper berries. We're going to add about 1/4 cup each. Cider vinegar, 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep your nose away from the pan. Obviously, it'll make you sneeze, it'll clear out your sinuses, all that kind of thing. And we're gonna add about 1/4 cup of Worcestershire. This is the braising liquid, hard cider, 2 bottles. And then once this comes back up to a boil and we begin to reduce it a bit and just make sure we got up all the flavor, we simply cover it and put it in the oven until that pork is super tender and literally falling apart with a fork. So now we're just gonna get the pork into this braising liquid, cover it, and get it into the oven. Now, how do we know when the pork in the hard cider is done? When it does this, when you can barely touch it and it breaks up. We're going to take the pork out. You can just take this beautiful, glossy, literally hot mess and go like this and thicken it up a hair. Or we can take creme fraiche, okay? And almost like we're making a paprikash or something, where you finish with creme fraiche or sour cream, you can add a few generous dollops and just whisk that around, let it come up to a bubble, just reduce it a bit. Here's our perfect pork that's so tender it was falling apart. And we're gonna pour that down over the whole thing. All of those big, beautiful chunks of pork